Hey guys, today we're going to be playing some Dragonheir Silent Gods. I was very fortunately invited to participate in a content creator beta lasting just for this April, I believe. Currently the game is not released, but stay tuned and join the official Discord if you want to hear more. And of course, as the previous video mentioned, definitely pre-register. I will leave links below, so definitely check it out. And today I'm just going to be playing the game. First impressions, I've not done anything yet. I've simply opened the game up. So let's have a look at the journal first before I do anything to see what quests there are or what this actually is. These are adventure quests. Seems to be different chapters you unlock as you complete the rest. I need to just do some basic stuff here to figure out the game, I guess. There are dungeons you can fast travel to. I feel like I shouldn't do that. Okay, so a bit of a time skip. I've been playing the game a fair bit for the last few hours, and I thought it might be better to just talk about some of the stuff I've seen in the game and to show you some clips as well. I've been questing around the starting area, traveling around the map, meeting people, picking up new objectives, doing some of the quests, exploring the systems in the game, looking at some of the mechanics. There is actually a load of stuff to uncover here. There's definitely a lot of systems, there's a lot to look into, there's a lot to play, a lot to discover. I'm going to be trying my best to pick up as much as I can. There's also a cooking system in the game where you can discover recipes and create food which you can consume granting your heroes buffs, which is a cool little mini game, just a way of having extra bonuses, and it rolls the dice for this as well to see if you get bonus results or not. So that's a cool little system that they have in play as well. You of course also have a shop where you can buy stuff, so that's kind of standard for the genre. You have a way of upgrading and creating gear. There's just so many features in the game. I'm not going to go over all of them in this video, obviously, but I just want to let you know that I've been looking into a bunch of this stuff, and so far I'm quite impressed. There's a whole lot of stuff to talk about. There's definitely a lot of promise for the future of the game, to see what they do with these mechanics and to see how it ties into the end game. Obviously right now I'm kind of just figuring out the basics. As this beta is only for 1 month and will be wiping at the end, they've given us a bunch of resources to test and to play with, so I will be able to have a good look at the end game and not just be playing very early on. But my initial thoughts from combat, as we're about to go into, are pretty good. It's actually a very enjoyable system. I've been using characters, I've been trying not to use characters who are too high level just yet, but it's kind of hard to avoid because I don't really know. So I think there are some pros and cons to this creator stuff. I think the creator stuff is fantastic because it gives us an opportunity to try the game out at the end game. However, I've never played this game before, so for me, I don't really know what I'm doing at the early game, and I want to get a good feel for how the game will be for you guys when you play, because I'll be playing with you. When the game actually comes out, I'm not sure how it will function compared to this, but I'm sure over the course of the beta I will figure it out and slowly learn. But initial impressions of playing the combat, I quite like it. It's actually quite fluid. It's actually very satisfying graphically, which isn't surprising because the game does look really good. But so far, combat is fun. It's definitely more fun than the idle games I've played before, so definitely some big points earned on that side of things. So I went to do a bunch of summons, and I did do a monstrous amount of summons. As you can see, I have a whole load of these dice systems. This seems to be because these are, of course, closed beta testing mainly for content creators right now. So they've given us a month, the month of April, to test the game, to play things, to see things. So they've given us pretty much every resource we need. This will, of course, reset at the end of April. We're not being given loads of stuff for free. These are just to allow us to make videos and content to ideally show the game off at its full capacity. But something interesting to note is there are two types of summon, common and advanced. Common allows you to get common, rare and epic heroes with 2% for epic, and advanced allows 2% for legendary and 10% for epic. I did do a whole load of summons because I was curious to get the new heroes and see what I could get, but before I started playing the game I spent a lot of time just looking at the heroes because they look absolutely incredible. Just look at all the detail. I spent a solid hour just gushing over all of the legendary characters alone, and honestly, not even just the legendaries, the epic characters look fantastic, the rare characters look fantastic. The design in this game is really good. I mean, look at this guy. He's got like daggers in a head in his chest, he's got skulls in his helmet, he's got a mantelpiece made out of bones, dripping candle wax, he's got a staff that has some kind of, it's not even just an orb, it's got like some kind of thing on top, like it might even be a heart of some kind. There's just so much detail in these characters. They look fantastic. And one of the things I kept thinking was, when I do get to play the game on launch and when I have my own account that I'm pulling for and I'm really, hoping to get certain legendaries, what hero do I really want? And they all look so good, it's really quite hard to determine which ones you would really want. I think this guy, Belenga, looks amazing. Just, a really detailed epic necrotic horse is fantastic. This guy looks fantastic as well. I think of all the heroes, this is the one I'm least keen on because little girls aren't really the goal. But aside from that, there are a bunch of pretty cool characters, a very sinister, confident stare from Flora over here. But there are just some really, really cool characters, and it stems all the way even through the epic heroes that look fantastic. So I'll leave that to you guys to explore and to look at these in full detail when you get access to the game, so I won't spend too long, but just a quick note. The art is incredible in this game. I really like the hero designs, and you could probably talk about this for quite a while. Something I've seen a few people asking about is monetization. This is going to be a gacha from the looks of things, so if that is something that puts you off, then definitely keep that in mind. There are 2 shops in the game. There's this one where you can buy stuff with gold, and you can sell resources to get gold as well. This seems to be like a standard shop inside the game. If you go to the menu, you can go to the store. Now, to me, the store is indicative that there will be a cash shop. I think you'd be silly to believe there's not. This will be a free game to download, so 100% there's going to be a shop in this game. There are 2 main currencies, gold and dragon marrow stones. I believe the dragon marrow stones are going to be the equivalent of diamonds or rubies, or whatever else you want to call them in other games. Premium currency you can buy with real money and earn in game is my assumption and belief right now. I haven't confirmed that because as of right now in this beta there is no cash shop. I can use the dragon marrow stones to buy some stuff here. Most of this stuff seems to be a way of getting gold or to get skill books, and you can see the rough values of stuff. You can interpret this however you want if you're curious to do some guesstimations. A lot of games use similar weighting of 800 is the equivalent to £5 or something. I have no idea, but make your own assumptions there. But at the moment there's an arena shop, obviously based on the PvP system. There's an artifact shop based on summoning duplicate currencies. You get these imprint stones based on summoning dupes. I think there'll be another tab, or they'll add to these tabs showing the actual real money transaction stuff in future, but right now it's not available, so we can't speculate, unfortunately. I've been looking over the systems. I've been trying to understand the scope and the scale of the game. I've had a look at characters, I've had a look at summoning, I've done some combat. I've been trying to get a feel for the game and what's out. And so far, I have to say, I am really impressed. There is a lot of depth to the game already. There's a load of systems in the game. There's already a massive amount of characters in the game that all look really, really good. There's no duds at all. They all look fantastic. The overworld itself is quite fun and interesting. There are loads of little mini games hidden around. There are loads of new things, quests, and optional stuff. There's loads of games of chance with dice rolling involved. So the overworld itself is quite fun and engaging. Some of the clips I've got in the background behind me are just gameplay clips from today, just showing you some of the stuff I've been up to in the first couple of hours of gameplay. This is a tower defense zone. Survive against the different waves, place your heroes, fend off a number of waves of enemies to get rewards. So although this is an auto battler and this is practically auto as well, it does seem to have different game modes within it, which is quite refreshing. And if I skip to the midst of combat, you can see it looks something like this. Another thing I noticed, which is quite cool, it does actually allow you to stack ultimates on characters. You don't have to wait for all of their ultimate sequences. You can activate them all at once like this, and it will fire them in unison. It may not seem like a big deal, but I find idle games can be quite slow and really get bogged down when you have one ultimate animation, the second one, the third. It takes a while, so it's quite pleasant that this one allows you to get things done a bit faster. There's also quite a lot of quests to do where you're running around the map, talking to different characters, doing little mini games for them, events. It's kind of just helps to bring the world to life. They seem to put quite a lot of focus in the overworld, and I think it's done pretty well. It's actually fairly interesting having a proper world to explore, having different events and whatnot. I'm not sure how invested I am in the story just yet, but I don't typically play these games for story. But saying that, I do like the design of it. I like that you can go into places. I like that there are named NPCs. It feels more like a world than your typical mobile gaming experience, where you're usually just used to seeing a single screen or town or something to represent your account, basically. Whereas this is actually a world you can explore, and there are loads of hidden goodies around the world. There are loads of little nooks and crannies and interior buildings and places to go and speak to NPCs. It kind of reminds me of some of the older RPG games, and that's not a bad thing. Now, running around the map is cool, and you can set which of your heroes is following. You can see I chose 2 of the big legendaries because they look cool. But you can also just track and travel to different parts of the map. I think there are these summoning circles you can use to fast travel, so they have some different systems to tackle this. You don't have to manually run everywhere. Once you've got through the game, I'm assuming you can just use your circles to travel, or you can use the bread currency, the food currency, in order to fast travel. So I don't think it'll be a slog of running A to B. You can just travel there really quickly when you need to. I'm really enjoying the mini games that pop up when you're wandering around. You see something, you roll a dice based on a stat, which I'm assuming you can change later on. Maybe there's some quest series that lead to upgrading your stats. But either way, I think people quite like chance. I think that's why we play these games, to feel lucky. It's quite fun to roll the dice every now and then. It's cool that they've integrated it in more ways than just in the summoning, where it's super high stakes. It's fun just to have casual games of chance every now and then as well. You also have encounters that can happen as you're traveling around the world. Just suddenly get attacked. You can ambush people. The fights start differently if you attack them from behind. So there's quite a bit going on. You do also start with lower HP based on how you ended the last fight, so you may want to consider that for future battles. So there are some decisions to be made regarding that. I haven't explored all of the systems fully. I'll definitely be playing a lot more of this game. I'm going to be making loads of videos showing my play. But initially it's just going to be a playthrough to show what I'm up to and to show what I'm learning, but eventually I'll be looking to make guides on the game when I get a better understanding, which may be some time yet, but I have the whole of April to figure it out. So if you're interested, subscribe to the channel. I'll probably be releasing a video on this game every day, maybe every couple of days depending. Thank you guys for watching. Have a lovely week. Take care, and bye bye.